Most marketing promotions actually hurt the brand more than they help it. Think about it. Whenever you have some of those huge Black Friday sales that brands run just because everyone else is doing it, what ends up happening when you have a 30, 40% off deal is that instead of people buying in 90 or 180 days, that money they would have spent in the future just gets spent today because there's a sale. So you pretty much end up making nearly the same amount you would in 90, 180 days. It's just all realized today. You're just fast forwarding cash, which sometimes can make strategic sense when you need to invest into inventory or you have to pay off a loan or something else within the business. But doing this often and without being calculated can result in really low lifetime value and a very bumpy business that just has spikes all year long, which stresses fulfillment, which makes customer service hard and has a wide variety of effects. And people don't do this because they don't care about the business. It mostly comes from an inability to understand how marketing promotions affect every single metric within your store. And that's why we created the marketing promotion calculator, which is the only free advanced calculator out there that shows you the wider range of effects promotions have on new customer cohorts, returning customer cohorts, short-term lifetime value, cost per session, and contribution margin. All right. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use this calculator and how you can make strategic decisions around what promotions you should be running and how much they will actually make you or make you lose in the future. So let's get into it. Off with a very high level view of this tool so you can just get into using it. We have a data input tab. You'll add in your store data, your new customer data, and your returning customer data. Each of these has a note and tells you what these metrics are, so you can add them in. It's very, very simple. The structure of this calculator is pretty straightforward. We have our normal performance section, which is how your store normally looks. And then we have our promotion section, which is how this promotion will actually affect your store. So you can actually compare the two back and forth. We have high-level metrics up here, like the promotion effect and change on gross sales, net sales, variable costs, new customer promotion, contribution per session, and some other metrics. And then we have some visualizations of these metrics comparing session value and promotion gross sales makeup. Very simple. The way you use this calculator, you name a promotion, choose what kind of promotion you're going to be running. This can do around 10 different promotions, which accounts for 90% of all promotions out there. You put in your take rate, the percent of customers that would be likely to take this offer or that would even be qualified to take it. And then you put in your percent changes into all these metrics and how the promotion will affect this qualitative or quantitatively. And then you also put in your percent additions or subtractions here for your store level metrics, which are blended. Okay. Now we can actually get into some examples and I can show you how this works. Now, a lot of power in a tool like this that actually gives you a little bit of a forecast or expectation for the future is not even in the precision of the numbers, but in forcing you to logically think about the decision that you're making and really critically go through how it affects each metric of your store. So let's get into this. Now, I'll go through two promotion examples here. We'll start off with this returning customer bundle to start. So we're just calling it summer returning customer bundle 3 times because we have a 3-piece product bundle in this promotion. Okay. Now, pretty straightforward here. If you have data and you have previous historical information, you can put in here around how a promotion affects your conversion rate, cart value, discounts, etc. Add that in. You'll have a very accurate representation of how that promotion will affect you in the future and how changing maybe one or two of the variables would affect you. But if you don't have historical data and you're going to be running a new promotion and you're trying to use industry data or some research to inform the effect of this promotion, you're going to be making more of a qualitative estimation here. And I'll be showing you an example of how that looks and how we think through that problem. So let me show you an example of how this would look, and I'll actually just start this promotion over so we can walk through each step. So in this case, we're doing a bundle, right? And we'll actually start off with 100% take rate so we can see what it would look like if every single person took this offer from a returning customer cohort. Now, the session level is really just looking at how many people are coming to the site, right? We're not looking at the ad level or ad spend effects. This is once people hit the site, how this is going to be affected. So maybe for this kind of VIP bundle promotion, we're not doing any ads. We're doing retention channels, email and SMS. And so depending on what we want in terms of frequency there, we can make our expectation accordingly. Maybe in this case, we are expecting 400,000 returning customers to come to the store. We're going to be doing quite the push for this sale, right? Conversion rate, right? How much will this promotion affect the amount of people that are going to convert? Well, again, this isn't a huge promotion. Maybe it's something we don't run too often, but maybe we do run some promotions for returning customers every now and again. So it's not something crazy special like a Black Friday sale, somewhat normal. So we could expect a slight conversion lift, maybe a 15% to 20% conversion lift from 2.00 to 2.76. And that's what we could expect, right? Again, we're making a qualitative estimation here based on our research. Then our promotional cart value, right? This is a 3-piece bundle, and our normal returning customer is worth $55. So we're going to want to basically multiply this by 3. This is somewhere in the 176 range to get us to roughly 3 times AOV, which is going to be a 3-piece bundle, which is what our average cart value will be, around 151. Then our promotional discount, of course, is going to be, again, we're probably just going to maybe take one product off here. So we can do maybe a $30 promotion, which would be 20% off the total cart value, which would ultimately be a little more than half off one of our units, right? So it's kind of a good deal. You basically buy 2 and get 1 for a little more than half off. And so I think that'll be a good promotion here. And of course, because we have a few more units, we can add in a higher units per transaction. And so we'll just increase the units per transaction because, again, we're expecting 3 units with this promotion. So we'll just increase our units per transaction to roughly 3 here, okay? Now, in terms of COGS, cost of delivery, etc., now COGS won't really change, right? We are selling a bundle with some of the same products that we have. So our 42% cost of goods sold should remain the same. Now, cost of delivery, maybe our fulfillment isn't as used to fulfilling a bigger order like this. Maybe we're covering more shipping than we normally would with this promotion. So we're going to increase cost of delivery accordingly by 2%. Keep in mind that cost of delivery and the store level metrics are blended between new and returning customers. So this will also affect the cost of delivery for new customers. So keep that in mind that these are blended and you have to put those in accordingly. Now, those are all the metrics we want to throw in. The last one here is going to be take rate, the percent of people that are even eligible or that are going to take this sale from the sessions that we added, right? And in this case, again, it's a VIP sale. It's something that people are somewhat used to, but this is maybe a little bit on the bigger side of the promotions that we run. So maybe we're expecting something around a 30% take rate on this promotion, which is going to vastly change how these metrics look, as a lot of people are going to be checking out at our normal returning customer rates. All right, so all in all, how this promotion affects things, we're ultimately leaving with a little bit higher of a contribution margin here and certainly higher variable costs. 3x on gross sales, 2.8 on total sales, 3.2x increase on costs, pretty good increase on contribution. Our new customer promotion or promotion contribution margin per session goes down a little bit due to that higher cost of delivery. And our returning customer promotion contribution margin per session increases a little bit, again, mostly due to that higher AOV. So what we could assume if we did our research properly and we put these numbers in with our best estimates is that this would actually be a promotion worth doing if we wanted to drive more contribution margin from our returning customer cohort. Okay. Now, again, our returning customer cohort does not have a 90-day LTV aspect that is solely for new customers, as returning customer LTV vastly changes on whether this is their 3rd purchase or their 20th purchase. But we do have that option. If you want to add in an LTV estimate, you can just drag this over here to do so with the returning customers. Okay. So let's run one more type of offer to show you an example of that. We can maybe just run a new customer percent off only sale, which is a pretty common one, especially for some smaller brands out there that are looking to acquire new customers. So we can go through and reset everything here. And we can see how this will affect the rest of the store metrics. All right, so starting off from somewhat of a blank slate here, again, we're going to be doing a 20% off sale. And new customers only, NCO. Pretty straightforward here, right? Now, again, maybe we're going to be doing some ad marketing for this. So we're looking to increase our sessions by a somewhat significant amount. Again, this isn't a huge sale. People are used to 20% off sales, but maybe it's something that we don't run too often. So we'll increase sessions somewhat, right? Looking at conversion rate, maybe from what we've seen in the past, if we've run a maybe 5 or 10% off sale, maybe we saw a little conversion rate lift increase, but nothing too crazy. But again, because maybe this is the first time we're doing a 20% off sale, our conversion rate should be a little bit higher than at 10 to 15%. So maybe we'll go for an 18% conversion rate lift here to 2.36. So that's what that would look like. Now, in terms of promotional cart value, again, maybe we've run smaller discounts in the past and we've seen that the cart value increases a little bit when we do have these promotions. So again, we could see what that looks like and kind of adjust accordingly. Maybe when we've run a 5 or a 10% promotion in the past, we saw a cart value increase of 5 to 10%. So maybe accordingly, again, we look closer to the 20% promotional cart value increase. And of course, here we have a 20% discount on the cart. So that's how that will look. And our units per transaction, again, are going to be pretty relative to cart value. So we'll just throw in units per transaction there to be a little bit higher. Now, our 90-day value, we actually would likely expect a slight decrease from this promotion. Again, maybe in the past when we've run a 5 or 10% promotion, we've seen that short-term LTV drops a little bit. And so again, we can look at those numbers and make an estimation of how much this will drop accordingly. So again, maybe in this case, when we've run a 5 or 10% off sale, we saw maybe a 5 to 20% reduction in 90-day LTV. So in this case, maybe we'd look at something towards the 25% front, okay? So again, going through this quickly, of course, you want to use your previous data, industry benchmarks, and research to inform these decisions here, okay? In terms of COGS, nothing really different there. Cost of delivery is not going to change. We don't have any other variable costs in this case, though if you wanted to add in a percent of revenue, ad spend cost, or anything else in there, you could add in all your other costs here to get an accurate forecast there. All right. So all in all, how does this promotion affect things? Well, first of all, we can look at our store metrics and how this changes. First of all, our gross sales goes up by about 3x. Our total sales goes up by about 2.8x. And our 90-day additional value does go up just because of the higher session rate, but ultimately, apples to apples, we do still have a reduction on that. Now, looking at our total variable costs, about 2.5 times there, and so our ultimate new customer contribution comes out to be about twice as high as our normal contribution without the offer. And then looking at our contribution margin per new customer session, it actually decreases a little bit, right? So we can take a look at that up here. So we actually had about an 18% decrease in new customer promotion contribution margin per session, which again just means that, hey, these sessions that we're pulling people into are maybe not as profitable as they are normally. So again, in this case, it's a trade-off of, hey, the value isn't as good here, but we are at a higher volume. So does that still make sense for us, right? And that's the question you have to ask yourself. And then, of course, we could take a look and kind of compare this to our normal returning, et cetera, and how this affects the gross sales makeup. So those are two examples there of how you could kind of think through a promotion, a bundle promotion at 20% off. Gift card and some of these other promotional types are pretty similar. We would just be doing more reduction to COGS there for things like gift cards and for things like free gifts to account for the increase from the revenue increase here, okay? So this can handle, again, pretty much any kind of promotion. And even if you don't have much historical data on a promotion, use those industry benchmarks, use that research to your advantage to make your best estimate for what a promotional sale looks like. And again, the value here is really in helping you logically and critically think through how a promotion will affect more than just sales, but how it actually affects contribution margin per session for returning in new cohorts, in addition to that short-term lifetime value. All right. If you have any questions on using this tool, let me know. Any requests for improvements, let me know. Otherwise, get using it. Get some accurate forecasts for your promotions and make sure you're making the right decision. All right, that's it for this one. Catch you in the next video.